kind of like it better than a floating single of her walking in a door. Do you agree?
I agree.
I got one right.
I'm just digging the frame more, you know what I mean?
Can I get you to confirm which Bill you want?
Put the pink over there. Because she's sad, so she's blue.
All right, can we do last looks on the space?
HJ, take 2.
And action. The piece we're working on this time is a pitch for a series. It's a dramatic series called Pinned. The scene, the lighting, and the construction follows the character's journey. So when she's having a rough time and life's really hard on her and things aren't going the way she wants, the frames are more complex. They're more moody, or if things are going well and she's presenting herself in a way that she feels in control, it's more flat, more commercial. We're shooting with one camera, and we're working with the Alexa Minis, and the reason why we chose Arri is because low light or high key, it has the good look on skin tone.
We opted for the Angenieux zooms. We have 2 zooms. We have one for a little wider shots and then one for telephoto. They're spherical elements but with an anamorphic back. Being a director of photography, you are heading different departments, the camera department, the grip department, the electric department.
I'm a Mommy Safa and gaffing, which is like basically head of lighting, like talking with the DP, trying to create a look for the movie.
Collaborate closely with the director to really create the visual aesthetic of the film and to guide the story visually in the direction that it's supposed to.
Igor and I are going through making the shot list. Igor's very hands-on, and he's gone through and detailed out a full visual development for our little piece here. Okay, let me think about this bar scene for a sec. So if an actor moves through here, moves through space, we're trying to plan it so that what you're seeing in this half of the frame is developing in a way that enhances the story that's happening in this half of the frame.
So essentially we'll block out the side and then extend these windows. So that will give us like a little bit of punch.
It has a few different looks. The first scene we're shooting is an all daylight, all flat, more commercial. Like it's clean, it's corporate.
To try to frame it in a way so we can kind of create an office as opposed to a conference room.
It's better for coverage if they're facing each other, obviously.
So we're using a mixture of regular daylight, and then we are putting in a negative fill in the room. So that just means literally just a big black cloth so that the light just doesn't bounce around and bounce around and bounce around. It enters in and we can control it on one side, called negative fill. Then we're gonna take these S60s and S30 sky panels. We want a little soft light here because we want to add a little fill on her face, or we might flag a light off, like the sunlight off of the subject entirely, and replace it with a sky panel and a silk so that the lighting looks consistent in the room, but on someone's skin it's super soft. Only using one S60, and we're about to actually swap it for an S30 because we don't need as much power going through just a 216 diffusion 4x4. And then this scene we're trying to make a little more side lighting.
We can just move the unit like 2-3 feet, so it's like
it takes a long time to light it and make it look correct. A lot of flags and nets and rags, things like this, to block light and get it where we want it to shape the light. So it's better whenever you're facing one direction to kind of do all that as much as you can within reason, so you don't have to constantly reset that stuff. You can move as a unit, perfect a general look for a direction, and then tweak as you move around. I think we've got Igor right there, yeah. Can it tilt up at all?
just do some reframing.
We got this higher key look. We're about to do our first take with April.
2A, take 1.
Compositionally, we're playing her mostly center frames. It's the first time we ever really see the lead character straight up to camera. And cut, let's move on. So we're flipping the coverage now to change over to shoot the scene for Sharon. James, can we move you towards me? Let's move it even more, James. Right there, woof. This scene really is more about having contrast, but it not being like super apparent that there's contrast, like especially on the character of Cynthia, who's judging and laying into our lead character, April. So we want her to kind of have some fall off and a little darkness about her, but not feel dark. And then we have this profile reveal of her reading where this moment transfers from April to Cynthia in a profile moment with a dolly. That's like the first look we're doing. The second is much more moody. Like the characters are going through a lot, especially our lead character, our lead actress, and it's super emotional. It's very difficult for her. So we're going very moody. The scene where April comes and hangs out at his house after she's just been fired, so it's kind of a gloomy, depressive feel. We're going to use a lot of light motivation from these windows, obviously, as well as some practical lightings like in the kitchen. Get them in here and supplement, again, the kind of moody feel we want with LED Arri sky panels. Foreground and their background, and then she exits. We could do the same thing where Dad's here and Vicky's there.
These have to be blocked out.
Yeah, totally. So 1, this is now 2, 3, 4 is just a 2-shot of the couch, right? Because then they sit down. 4, that's 4, 5, 6.
1, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. That's the door over there, and then this is the couch. So we would like be on this side, and then she comes in, then we follow her in this medium shot.
And she can go real slow through here, and it'll be a nice moment if we tilt into it.
And then she'll sit back into frame because it's already framed for that.
The anamorphic zooms are going to be a big help for this because we don't have to swap lenses. Now a shot that starts as a single in the reaction shots can widen out, become a 2-shot, and I can now stage another character into that moment. This scene ended up being very cool. Igor had this idea that we developed the day before in the shot list where we were going to shoot the beginning and the end of the scene from behind the couch.
We shot the whole scene facing towards the windows, and it was a slightly unconventional approach, filming over people's shoulders and having them turn into certain shots to talk. We would just roll through it just because it was looking so good, and I think nature actually made it better.
Me too. I think it turned out awesomely. I'm 100% into it. I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to turn out super well.
There's always going to be limitations with every single project that you do, but it's what you make use of and how you apply those limitations. I mean, honestly, I think the most important thing is to have fun. Just to have fun while you're doing it and work with the best equipment possible and get the best images that you possibly can.